Hey there, I'm Jazz Rose, and the question I've got for you today is, how do we check for whole class understanding? Well, I'm going to take you through a very short, simple 6-step routine. Pose the question, wait for a response, randomly select a pupil to answer, ask who agrees, who disagrees. Perhaps they can show it on a mini whiteboard, or simply 1 for yes and 2 for no. Ask them how do they know? How do they know that their answer is correct? And then ask them to prove it to you through demonstration up on the whiteboard or up in front of the class. What are the benefits of this technique and why do we do things this way? Well, when you build a journey and you build a process and understandings that any child can get asked the question, it helps to ensure that every child is then thinking about the question at hand, and it's not always the same children with their hands up. The second thing is, when you ask children, when you don't give the answer straight away as a teacher, so you might you pose the question, you get a response from a random person in the classroom, and then you say, okay, so who agrees and who disagrees with this person? 1 for yes, 2 for no. The reason that we do this is then we can scan across the entire classroom very quickly and identify who understands, who knows, and who doesn't know. Who has it correct, who has it incorrect. Why? So if it's the majority of the class or a large proportion of the class that has it incorrect, then maybe we need to reteach. If it's a small proportion of the class that has it incorrect, perhaps we need to then go around and give individual support whilst allowing the rest of the class to move on. So it's really important that you're able to scan across the classroom to understand who knows and who doesn't know. Further than that though, it encourages debate and it really allows children to self-identify when they've got things wrong. So, for example, you might have a child that says, yes, A is the answer, and then another child says B is the answer. And then this is where your whole class debate comes in. Say, right, A, how do you know that you're correct? And then they get to justify it. And sometimes, quite often, what you'll find is that if they're incorrect, they go, oh, I understand where B is coming from now. Actually, B is correct because of X, Y, and Z. And it's that self-evaluation, that self-identification process where the pupils come up with the answers. Perhaps as an individual, perhaps it's self-orientated, or perhaps it's as a class. So when B is explaining the right answer, A goes, I get it now. And then they can come up and prove it to the class. So it's really embedding that understanding and helping children to become independent learners where they learn for themselves and they're really able to facilitate their own level of understanding through individual and peer support. And as a teacher, you simply act as the facilitator who brings the learning all together. When they go away from your classroom then, they're really independent learners and they can really start to figure things out for themselves, whether you're there or whether you're not. And that's the art of a fantastic teacher. I hope you found this video really useful. Do subscribe to the YouTube page if you find the content interesting. It's Jazz Rose, and I hope to see you again on the next video in a week or so's time. Have a fantastic week of teaching and learning. Bye for now.